What up? You're listening to the Gopher Broke podcast. We are covering our last group of positions with the Golden Gophers in the secondary today. We're also talking two different Gopher opponents. We've got fall camp notes for you. We got hot takes and more. It's going to be a heck of a show. So hit subscribe and let's dive in. What's up, Gopher fans? You are listening to the Gopher Broke podcast. It's your boy Kane, Rob, and Tristyn Spann-Ford coming at you once a week, every week, talking Golden Gophers football. And we are wrapping up our coverage on the Gophers position group breakdowns here today. We're also going to get into some hot takes, some fall camp notes, talking about Indiana and UCLA. So we got to fly. We got to get into it. So if you're a real one, if you are a real Gopher fan who is ready for football season, if you're just ready for the football season, hit subscribe over on YouTube. Be sure you're locked in for the whole season. We will be going live right after the games as well. We'll give you live feedback. I'll even do it from the stadium right before I go down to the presser. So we're getting those immediate thoughts. Again, if that sounds like something you enjoy, hit subscribe over on YouTube so you can be in it for the action. But Tristyn Spann-Ford, my boy, how are you doing? How is life going? Any gripes for the week?
Life is good. Not too many complaints. I mean, it is in that time where we are so close to football. You can taste it, and it's all you can think about, but it's just not there yet. Pretty clean other than that, though. I mean, we did get word about the hockey schedule for our 7-year-old coming up this year, and they hate football. They do not like football whatsoever. It came out, they apparently practice 3 days a week, Saturday and Sunday in the morning. So I hate that. I hate it so much that I have to be a deadbeat dad watching my phone, watching football at 7-year-old hockey.
Going to have some high phone usage this college football season.
They're not giving me a choice. I don't know why they hate football, but here we are.
They hate football because they want everybody to convert and join hockey. That's what it is.
They can do both.
They're starting the conversion now, Tristyn. No, because if you want the pros, if you want to get to the highest of the highs, even in college,
you're right.
You got to lock in now, which means you can't be tapped into football because you have to be locked in to hockey.
You must play hockey 365 days a year since the age of 6, and that's the only way.
Yep, that's what it is. I don't have any gripes this week. Pretty clean week overall. One thing I found out, my son has the same birthday as Crunch, the mascot for the Timberwolves. That was pretty cool. Which means
it was always meant to be.
It's the day before Crunch, mascot for the Timberwolves. So
I love that.
Fun fact. But all right, we're going to dive in. We're going to get after it. Before we jump into some Gophers things, the first thing we'll talk about is Gophers hot takes for the season. We each got 3 of them to share, but we got to talk about something we forgot to mention last show. It's a little bit old news now, but we got to talk about it here at the podcast. The Michigan coach, the new coach, Kyle Whittingham, talking about the rivalry, the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, said, I just think that a rivalry, I'm going to say this like how I imagined he said it. Okay, ready? I just think that a rivalry can be intense and emotional without the hatred factor. I don't think there's any place for that personally. Like, dog, do you know what this rivalry is? What are we doing here?
He's too used to the Holy War. That's why. He's too used to the Holy War. They were saying prayers before and after the game, and he is too used to that. And that is in his brain. No, rivalries are hatred. You have to hate them. Like, I don't care if we lose to Iowa for the next 20 years or if we beat Iowa for the next 20 years. We're going to hate them just as much.
We still hate them.
Like, no matter what. It doesn't matter.
Iowa. Like, you don't want to come to Minnesota because we literally say the words, we hate Iowa. There it is.
We're not even playing Iowa, and we're telling people we hate Iowa. So I don't understand what he's doing. I don't know if he's trying to go at it the Michigan man way. But that is not the way to win over a fan base. I'll tell you right. It kind of gives Brian Kelly. It gives Brian Kelly's opening presser.
It's not a good way to
hey,
win over a locker room either, though. You got these Michigan dudes in here who have been owning that rivalry as of late until last year. They had a stranglehold on that rivalry over the last like 4 years prior to last year. And Ohio State took it back last year, and they're like, okay, we're getting a new coach. You know what that means? New coach, we're gonna get this back. We're gonna take it back. And all of a sudden, the coach is like, I just don't think hatred is necessary for this.
bro,
Dog, dog, you are
what?
starting 3 steps behind on this one. Like, and so I just looked it up when I was getting ready for today's show. He actually got asked about it again and has walked it back a little bit. Still a little Poindextery on it. And he says, do we have a better chance to win if I hated them? Whatever gives us the best chance to win, I'm all for it. I want to beat them worse than anybody around, so I don't know how that got to be such a hot topic. Dog, it got to be a hot topic because it's literally known as the game, the rivalry, the hatred is what fires that bad boy. Like, it's just
It
crazy
seems
how you didn't know what you were walking into in that one.
it seems like he might just have an issue with the word hate. Like he just doesn't like the word itself, but he strongly dislikes them. If they would have asked him, "Do you strongly dislike?" He'd been like, "Absolutely, I dislike them more than anything." But
Well,
he doesn't like the H word.
you know what? The H word is necessary in that one because Ohio State literally crosses out every M on campus,
That's
on
what I'm saying.
buildings, on streets. On that week, they literally put red tape M's on every M, red tape X's all over it. That's hate. That's not strong dislike. If you can't look at an M without getting that feeling
A
of
visceral
disgust,
reaction.
yeah, that's hate. That's hate right there. Just wild. Hopefully he can figure it out because otherwise this will be a short stint for him. But we had to bring that up here on the podcast. Let's get to that Gopher stock now. We're gonna talk hot takes, 3 hot takes. We'll rotate 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And so do you want to go first or do you want to end up going last? What's your first hot take? Do you want to go first?
I'll go first because it's the one I'm. Listen, a hot take is fun. This one I actually do believe. Through 7 weeks, through 7 to 8 weeks, the Gophers will have a top 5 defense in the Big Ten. That's fair. That's not even unrealistic.
No, you said the Big Ten.
It's not that high.
Fair. At first, I thought you said in the country. I was like, whoo.
No, not in the country. Big Ten. Yeah. Oh, I almost got reckless. But I was like, no. Because this one's actually pretty realistic.
The top 10, I think it'll come down to
top 5.
Can the secondary hold it together, and can the pressure get after it? I think it's possible in the Big Ten top 5, especially through 7 or 8 weeks. I think that's definitely possible.
That's what I'm saying.
That might not even be too spicy. That might be like mild.
That's why I started with it.
All right. I'm starting hot. And you know what? I think it's actually pretty hot. I'm pretty accurate, so maybe, but people aren't going to like to hear it. My hot take number 1, Roman Voss and Perry Thompson won't play a big role in this upcoming season, at least for most of it. But I'm saying basically for most, if not all of the season, Roman Voss, Perry Thompson will not play a big role for the Gophers this year. Now, that doesn't mean they can't play a big role in future years, but I don't see it this year based on what I saw in the practice, based on Roman Voss, ultra talented. I think not being here in the spring is going to catch up with him. He's got a lot of learning to do. Tight end is hard to learn as a true freshman and get on the field anyway. I think they might get creative with him, have some packages, but especially then now that it's 5 for 5, so you're not burning a red shirt or anything, I think they'll find ways to get him on the field here and there, but I'm not expecting much from Roman Voss. And Perry Thompson, dog, I'll talk about it when we get to our camp notes, but I don't think I can get there. I don't think I can get there. I know that's your dog, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So if you're tapped in, look, we'll get there. Camp notes following this. I'll talk about why. But yeah, I don't think he's playing a big role this year.
Okay, I love that. My next one is Drake Lindsay will be at some point on a graphic for Heisman talks. At some point, his face will be on there. It won't be late in the season, and I'm not saying he's going to win the Heisman, but I'm saying at some point, we're going to see the list of the top 5, and then it's going to be like, guys to keep an eye on, and Drake Lindsay's face will be up there.
Look, if Minnesota can go 3-0 in the non-con and somehow either keep it close or pull an upset at Michigan and then they find a way to win at home at Washington, and then they find a way to win at home versus Michigan. I could see that happening. All of a sudden, you're sitting there at 5-0, and they're like, "Whoa, this Minnesota offense, sneaky guy over here." Like, I could see that. Even if you're 4-1 with a 3-0 non-con plus a Michigan win, and you lose a close on the road game to Washington, I could still see it where people are like, "This kid came out of nowhere." So I feel you. It's a hot take. Again, we are saying hot takes. It's not supposed to be.
I purposely didn't think about any of these until like 10 minutes before the show because I wanted them to be straight from the heart, just off the dome.
Just firing them off the clip.
Yeah, I didn't want to have any thought into these.
All right, my next one is Ryan Estrada, true freshman, year one player. I'm going to get myself into saying year one, year two instead of freshman and all that stuff.
Good luck with that.
Year one player. Ryan Estrada ends up second on the team in rush yards this year. That's my hot take.
Okay.
He's going to be second on the team in rush yards.
I like that. My last one was pretty. Darius Taylor will break the all-purpose single-season yards record. Now, the more I've thought about this, for the Gophers.
Okay.
Yeah, not in the nation. For the Gophers, I think Rodney Smith has it right now. And I think he was also like returning punts at some point. Or not Rodney Smith. Come on now. Maroney?
Lawrence Maroney.
He had it for a little bit. Or did he get broken? I literally looked it up. After I said it, I looked it up. Whoever has it was also returning punts.
Rodney Smith holds the... Oh, that says overall career.
That's overall.
Single season.
Yeah. I literally just looked it up. I should have written it down. But I'm pretty sure they were returning punts and kicks, and DT is not doing that. So it's going to be difficult. Like, whoever has it had, like, a couple hundred yards worth of rushing of return yardage. But anything is possible.
Yeah, I can't figure it out. At least not on the fly. But I'm taking.
That's fine.
Well, they'll announce it in the press box if it happens. So we'll keep track here. My final hot take is the Gophers are going to continuously use 5 safeties this season. They're going to use 5 safeties. That's going to be across both safety positions and the nickel position, but that's 3 positions, and I think they're going to work 5 players across those 3 positions.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into that. I love that take. We're going to get into it.
We are going to get into it. We're talking about the secondary here today, but before we get to that secondary, we're going to talk about our camp notes. So I'm going to go position by position, Tristyn. I'm going to give you just quick thoughts on what I saw in this practice on, what was it now, Thursday. So it is a day ago, yesterday. Today has been the longest day of my life. 4 a.m. workout. The workout was extra extended, like felt like a mile and a half long. And then on top of that, we just kept going, working, and then it felt like it was the weekend. Oh, today feels like 3 days, dog. I'm tripping.
We're recording pretty late, too.
We're recording at like 10 at night, so it's a long one.
For the people, we have to do it. For the people.
Anyways, I'm going position by position, just quick hidden facts. If you have any questions along the way, throw them in there. We'll have fun with it. But quarterbacks-wise, Drake had some big connections to Steptoe, to Jennings. He was short on one with a pass breakup to Jennings, but took some shots down the field. You like to see it. He also had an interception across the middle to Kingsbury. Didn't really see who he was throwing that one to, so that was a little concerning. But overall, Drake Lindsey, I think he's coming along. I think it's going to be a good year for him. Now, I know we've talked about this here on the podcast before, but I'm going to say it again. If Drake were to get mono, we have a bunch of options behind him, but I'm not really comfortable. I think I would be very, very concerned if he were to get a longer term mono that we would be SOL. We would be in some, like, are we going to make a bowl game type waters? Because look, I think the 2 freshmen in Palmer and Lansu just aren't going to be ready this season at all. Whitkey, for me, doesn't have a Big Ten. He's not a Big Ten player. Respect, like, you've been here and grinding through it, but I don't see it. And then you talk about Chickenjansky. He would be the QB2. I think if you had to have him in a spot start, like just a quick game or maybe a game and a half, something like that, I think he could hold his own and do his thing, depending on who the opponent is. But if we're talking long term, dog, he's too slight for me. His slight build, I wouldn't be surprised to see him ball out for like a game. But if you're talking about long term, I just don't know if he can hold up. I don't know if he's got the arm talent. I don't know if he's got enough to hold it together if it was like a 6-7 game type thing. So I'm a little worried in the QB room behind Drake Lindsey. Now, the only player I didn't mention now is Merdinger. He's the Liberty transfer who came in. He could maybe hold down the fort. He started games before, so I don't know. He's the one I haven't seen much of. We didn't even get to see very many reps from him at all in this last practice. So it just makes me think, like, Drake, dog, don't be kissing nobody out there. Don't be doing nothing, but let's stay
Do not get mono.
good all season. For those who still don't get the reference, though, we're always going to speak mono instead of actual injuries. So just putting that out there. Anyways, running backs, moving on. Running backs, I didn't get to see a lot from Ford. I didn't get to see a lot from Washington. Washington at one point was running with the threes. Like, I don't know if they're just trying to get a lot of reps
for my boy.
Or what's going on. They rotated a ton, though. Like, every play was like a new running back. Every play was a new running play. Saw Bates and Castillo, I think it's Castillo. They were both out. They weren't even practicing. DT and TJ Thomas saw a lot of reps with the ones. I think you could work. Some of the others worked in there, but those two probably saw the most reps that day with the ones. Ryan Estrada and Jaron Thomas saw a lot of reps with the twos. Again, Washington and Ford worked in there a bit as well, and then they also saw some work with the threes. I don't even think I saw AJ Turner out there like in a jersey. Like, I could be wrong, but I didn't see him out there. So overall, the running back room, I think we have a lot of names, a lot of bodies, a lot of dudes in there, but I just don't know what it's going to be. I don't know who the running back 2 is. I don't know if they're still kind of working it and what it's going to be. Darius Taylor at one point did come up hobbled, and I was like, dog, no, we can't have this be happening. He was back in, like, I kid you not, 5 minutes or less. Like, so it wasn't anything serious.
He's going to do the Anthony Edwards thing. Every single game you watch, he's got to go down, and then he's just fine.
He was back in. He made a big catch down the sideline. Like, he was good. He was good. So no worries on that front. But when you just saw the quick little, like, oh, I was like, oh, come on. Yeah, I think maybe he just got like a dead leg or a stinger or something like that, where somebody like just got him in the right spot. But anyways, moving on to the wide receivers. I know this is one people are tapped in. I teased it a little bit. So Tracy, Smith, Jennings, top 3 pretty decisively. I think those are going to be your top 3 guys. Hayden Moore was not playing in this practice. He was in just a jersey walking around, so he was dealing with an injury. Coach Flex said he's been dealing with an injury for the past couple days, but he will be back real soon, so it's nothing to worry about there. I think Hayden Moore is in the conversation next up in that group, year 1 guy, so that's exciting. Zion Steptoe had a huge connection with Drake Lindsey. He's scrappy. I like him. He fights. He doesn't give up on a play. And then we got Perry Thompson. Like I said, don't expect to see him that much on the field this year. I just don't see it, man. Like, if he does, good on him. Like, shut me up. Go get it. He was a high 4-star transfer coming in, 4-star guy out of high school. But, like, dude, it was tough because he looks lost on the field a little bit. Like, he still doesn't have the playbook down. He was running basically with the threes the entire practice. Like, there were no twos looks. It was with the threes only. And even then, you know, when the coaches are giving you some extra language after a rep and things like that, and not like just saying extra language, but like giving you some extra language.
That's tough. Especially at the open practice. Practice, coaches are like,
you done messed up.
We're gonna talk about this in the film room.
I don't know if it was a mistake or anything like that, because he caught the ball on a play on a rep, but he didn't finish through. And you know, in this Gophers offense and Gophers practice, you catch the ball, even if you get tackled, you get fall on the ground, whatever, you finish through. You run to the end zone. That's the Gophers culture. Like, you finish through the play. Keep protection on the ball. The ball is program. He didn't finish through. One coach or trainer or something like that literally ran down with him and pushed him down to the end zone. Like, keep going. And then he came back, and then he got a little language from OC Greg Harbaugh. And then he got a little language from another coach. And then they were telling him to go this way, that way. I was just like, oh, it was tough, dog. I'm not going to lie. And, like, I don't know. even his body language, it just felt very lackadaisical. Even after that, he got back in on a different rep, and like before the snap happened, you could see him like do a like shrug, like "What are we doing?" And I was just like, "Oh, this is not looking good." So I just don't think that fixes in 20 days. We got 20 days till kickoff, and like you got to come a long way from that here on August 13th is when it happened to kick off on
Less
what,
than 20.
September?
Yeah, that's
Right. So I'm just
yeah,
like,
that's
I'm not saying he can't be a stud. He's got all the talent, he's got all the things. But if it's gonna happen, it's gonna take some time. It's not happening in 20 days. That's all I got to say.
yeah, you hope it's not a situation where he kind of had the mind state of I
I'm
was
just gonna be
supposed
the
to be the man here.
guy.
I'm gonna
Right.
take a step down. I'm gonna take a step down to this program, and I'm gonna be the man here, and it'll be
Right.
super easy. Hopefully that's not the case. I hope he can get it together because I'm still like he's supposed to have all the raw talent. So if he can get those things in order, it would be interesting to see. But it's good to know though that you saw a 1, 2, 3 come out of the wide receiver room because that's what we've kind of been talking about, like who's going to go where. So to know
Yeah.
that we have guys and that we feel confident in, that kind of makes me feel good going into the
Yeah, I
year.
feel good on Tracy Jennings Smith. I think Steptoe's in the conversation behind them. I think Hayden Moore will be in the conversation behind them. And another name, the last name I was going to bring up today is Quade Hendricks. Love the name.
Yeah,
Dog,
great.
also a year one guy. He had a huge play today. Coach Fleck talked about him in the presser afterwards. He said he's coming along super fast. They like what they have in him. He was a higher rated wide receiver in this class too. So Quade Hendricks, Hayden Moore, 2 year one guys that are both probably in the top 6 wide receivers right now.
Oh yeah, love that.
All right, moving to tight end. I have very little to tell you about this position. It was tough to get in there, but Pierce Walsh was in a non-contact jersey, but he's working team reps, so he's getting back to it. Pierce and Helms are probably your top 2 guys in the tight end room. Julian Johnson and Jacob Simpson are probably the next on the depth chart. Julian Johnson looks like he put on some good weight. He looks like filled out. He looks ready to make some impact blocking. I think Julian Johnson's going to be on the field a little bit. And then Roman Voss had a number of tough drops. I just think he's still getting used to the speed. He's got the talent. But again, like Tristyn and I have both said, tight end typically takes a year or so to really get into the strength program, really get into the playbook, really get into the blocking and all of that. So I'm not expecting too much from him. I think he'll have maybe some moments, but I don't think they're going to get him on the field a ton.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm excited about Roman Voss, but yeah, like we said, it's so difficult. Like you got to learn the route trees and you got to learn the blocking schemes. You're playing 2 positions at once, and then on top of that, you're an 18-year-old who can only control how fast you can grow. So that'll be sweet because Roman Voss is a
He's
Big Ten
talented.
tight end name that I've never heard a name more of a Big Ten tight end name than Roman Voss. So I'm excited for him, but I think we kind of already knew that going in as Pierce Walsh was going to be the guy. So excited to see what he can do though this year.
Him and Helms.
Yeah.
But offensive line, I think we got 4 jobs locked in. I think we got Nathan Roy, Greg, and Ashton Beers. We already knew those 3. I think Tony Nelson is basically going to be the right guard. I know I've been pushing this Brett Carroll agenda, and I'm still here for it. If we can make it happen, let's make it happen. So Tony Nelson, I think he's definitely taking the leader position in that position just based on what I could see from that practice. And then DJ Shipp played all of the ones right tackle snaps, but because Warren was injured, Warren was not dressed and practicing. Now, DJ Shipp was also wearing the orange juice jersey, which goes to the player that had the most how in the practice before, the dude that's doing it right, showing up, working hard, getting after it. And so DJ Shipp was in that juice jersey, also had a pretty good practice on this day. PJ Fleck mentioned in the presser afterwards that Shipp still has a lot of work to do, but he's stacked really good practices and they like what they're seeing. So I think he's definitely made it a battle. I think Shipp and Warren are battling for that right tackle. I think the other 4 probably locked in at this point. I could be wrong, but that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Oh yeah, love that.
Flipping into the defense, I'm just going to talk about the D-line and linebackers. We'll dive into our secondary breakdown, and I'll talk about the practice a little bit in there as well. But for the D-line, Anthony Smith, TJ Bush, probably going to be the first 2 guys you see out there on snap number 1. Carter Menz and TJ Bush are the same slot I would say. And then Anthony Smith and Jackson Howard are the same slot. Now, they might move around, they might do different packages and things like that, but I think they're like 70% of what you'll see. I think you'll see Anthony Smith and Jackson Howard kind of rotating, Carter Mentz and TJ Bush rotating. And it could be any of those pairings on the field. Adam Kasai also will work in occasionally, but that's kind of what we're seeing there. Aiden H was showing flashes with the threes. He's a year one guy. Super impressed by him. That was good to see. And then the defensive tackles. Defensive tackles were working in like hockey men D pairs or hockey D men pairs. So basically they were just like stuck with another person basically the entire time. So for today's practice, it was Theron Randall and Zion Chapman. And for the second other grouping, it was Crowder and Sunrum. And they both were running with the ones, but it was like those two pairings were always together. Now I talked to a couple of the different media members because I wasn't able to go to the last practice, and they said that those were different last week. So it was Theron and Sunrum, and then it was Chapman and Crowder. So I think
we're trying out combos.
I think they're getting them used to each other in combos, so that way once they get to a thing, it could be any of them and they can go. But that way you can figure out what combos you like the most for different situations.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be weird without. I mean, like Devin Eastern was there for how many years and played there, so like he was kind of the one who could kind of, facilitate. Hey, where we're going, what technique are you in? This is what I'm doing. I'm doing this. You do this. So that's a cool way of coaching it, is getting the different pairing out there.
Yeah, and Hicks was hurt, so he wasn't practicing today or that day. Howie Johnson worked in a little bit, and I think someone else worked in a little bit. Coach Fleck talked in the presser afterwards and said this isn't going to be like Devin Eastern, who's taking in up a ton of snaps and always on the field. They're going to have rotation in this interior because they're going to need it as this group grows and gets experience. Linebackers, I put it out there right away. I was wrong about Joey Gerlach. Last week, I said Joe Gerlach probably just going to be a special teams guy, maybe a couple snaps here and there, but I just don't see the role for him. I was wrong. He is definitely in the conversation to get some linebacker snaps. He could be in the conversation to take that Devin Williams spot right now. That's how much he's on the field. He was wearing the Juice jersey in this practice. How was what the Gophers want to see. And then even in this practice was playing a ton and was flying all over the field. It was to the point, Tristyn, where I was looking and I was like, who the hell is in this Juice jersey? That's not Maverick. I see number 6 out there. That's not Kingsbury. I see number 49 out there. Like, I know he's a white dude. Who is this dude?
Which white dude is this?
I was like, what? So then I was talking with my boy Dan over at 247, and he was like, oh, it's Joey. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, Joey, shut me up. Like, go get it, Joey. So Mav is definitely the guy. He's going to be the guy. But there's a clear competition with that spot next to Mav. And it could be Joey, it could be Kingsbury, it could be Carmo. I'd say right now, if I had to take a guess, it's probably between Joey and Kingsbury. I'd say those two are in the lead. Carmo, it seems like they're definitely going to work him in packages, especially third downs and things like that. I would love to see more of him, but I didn't get to see a ton of him in this practice. So it really feels like Joey Gerlach and Kingsbury are kind of fighting for that spot right now. And then Mason Carrier and Nathan Cleveland are definitely guys in that rotation. They're definitely in the twos. Like, they're behind those other 3 guys I just said. But they're working in. Like, if they need to step up, if they need to be in, they'll be ready. They'll get playing time. They'll get snaps. So those are the kind of the 5 or 6 linebackers really taking the core here for the Gophers.
I really want Carmo to get some tick this year, but we'll see. We're gonna wait. We're gonna see.
All right, so let's dive into the secondary. I'll talk a little bit about the practices as we go, but Tristyn, what are your thoughts on this secondary? This is the room we are breaking down here today. How you feeling?
I'm actually feeling really good about it. Like, going over the list of names and the guys and who has been brought in, I do think this is going to be every single person on the secondary needs to know every single position of the secondary. Like, I feel like it's going to be kind of a not revolving door, but they're going to be able to do so much, and everyone is going to have to know every position. It's kind of like the same situation where we talk about on offensive line. Like, there's so many guys like Dave. Dave is Parker Knutson's dad. Dave, we're finally here. We're talking about it. He's been bugging me for weeks. When are we getting to the secondary? Here we are. But Parker could play a lot of positions on this field. I mean, Gooseby, as he's right now, I think he's going to start at free safety. Probably is what I would put him at, starting at free safety. But he can also play cornerback too, and I think that's going to be the situation that this room is in. Is everybody's got to know every position.
Yeah, dog. That's what you're seeing out there on the practice field. I'd say John Nestor always out there, of course, at that cornerback position. Aiden West was usually across from him, but then when you're talking nickel, you're talking in different formations. The Sam, you're talking the different safety positions. Like, it was hard to keep track of who was out there on the field because of how much rotation they're doing, and because I'm like, wait, who's it back in the safety? Wait, I feel like I'm not seeing Kerry Brown. Oh, Kerry Brown's over in the nickel. Oh, this dude's back in the safety. Oh, like, they move so much, and I think, like I said, I think a good 5 of them are going to play a ton of snaps, and I've got one other guy, a 6th person, in the conversation for some snaps. I'd say those 6 make up the 3 positions. So if you think about it, that's technically like 2 guys for each of the slots, which makes sense. But so I have for cornerbacks, let's break that down first, because the outside cornerback is its own thing. John Nestor, definitely going to be CB1. I'm still so baffled. Year 4 guy, excellent PFF grade, 81.5 on defense, 81.4 on coverage. Those are both phenomenal grades. 50 tackles, 6 pass breakups, Big Ten leading 6 interceptions. And that was with John Nestor missing 2 games. He missed the Northwestern game. He missed the Nebraska game. The only other person, there's another guy who tied with 6 interceptions. That was Lewis Moore. He had 6 interceptions, but he played 5 more games than John Nestor. He was on Indiana. And it's just
I would just let him walk out the door.
Not only that, the Big Ten didn't even give the dude an honorable mention last year.
No, the more we thinking about that, I kind of like that. I think he's going to go nuclear now. That's bulletin board material.
How do you lead the conference in interceptions and not get an honorable mention? Like, that is filthy. That is disgusting. Like, it's just, I
want him in his locker to do the Amon-Ra St. Brown, where he's got every single wide receiver who was taken remembered in front of him. I want him to have the list hanging in his locker every day to just look at it.
Yeah. Just wild to me. But okay, across the cornerback room, I think Aiden West is likely the other cornerback across. Year 2 guy, he got time as a year 1 guy with Michigan State and Joe Rossi last season. He ended up starting 4 games last season, 3 of them being the final 3 games of the year. PFF grades were around average. He had 19 tackles, 1 pass breakup, 1 half sack. And then he's just got a lot of talent. He looks fluid. He looks like a guy who can make a big impact. Now he's just got to go out there and do it. He's got to go out there and prove it. So we'll see what we get from Aiden West. Otherwise, the rotation, I think there's 3 other players that can get into the conversation. Naeem Parrish would be my first one to mention. Year 2 guy, I would say he would be next in line for the Gophers. He could still try to maybe make a push for CB2. Again, we're 20 days away. So if you can go out there and prove it, they got a scrimmage tomorrow on Saturday. So if you can go out there and show, like, nope, I should be in there, I think he's got a chance. He only had 24 snaps last season, so he hasn't really had an opportunity. But the staff have really liked him since he early enrolled last spring. So I think overall they're excited about him too. Even if he doesn't start week 1, he's going to be in the rotation, get good snaps. Mike Gerald, year 3 guy, only Gopher aside from Nestor, who is back, that had significant snaps last year. He had 142 snaps on the season. PFF graded him below average across the board, except for tackling. But I think he'll likely at least see a similar role to what he saw last year, where he's definitely rotating in and holding down the fort. And then the last name I have in the rotation conversation is Simon Seidel. He is a local Minnesota guy, hasn't really seen opportunity, natural athlete. I believe he actually played hockey too. He played hockey. So fun stuff, but he is fast. He's got some speed to him, and I think he could be a sneaky name that works into the rotation, barring injuries. If someone goes down, I think Simon Seidel could step in to what that rotation looks like. Otherwise, youth and depth guys, I've got Justin Hopkins, Chance Payne, both year 1 guys that have high upside, could be future players for the Gophers. And then Samuel Madu, who's a year 3 guy, Elijah West, who is a year 3 guy, but he's injured and out for the season. And then Rylan Kelly, year 5 guy. That's your cornerback depth and youth. But that's the rotation and starters I've got on the corners. Now let's kick it to the safeties. Now, you talked about being excited about this group, the switchability, the versatility. I asked Danny Collins about how important the versatility and the depth is for this year's defense. And he talked about how it is critical, how You can go check it out over on Twitter. I was going to drop it in here, but y'all can do a little bit of searching. So go over on Twitter. I posted it there on my Twitter at Gophers Kane Rob. But he had a really insightful answer. Coach Fleck talked about how this might be the tightest knit safety group that he's had in his time here. And so he's really excited to see what this room is going to do. But Kerry Brown obviously is going to be in there. I think this is his time to shine. He's a year four guy. He's been a staple of consistency, graded above average at a 70 on PFF. But if you watch Gophers football last year, you know that Kerry Brown made the big plays when the Gophers needed them the most. I'm talking a big interception just at the perfect timing, a sack, a huge run stop on third down, a diving pass breakup. Like Kerry Brown was a dude that was just like, dude, like if we don't get a stop here, this could be a backbreaker. This could end us. And Kerry Brown's right there, and he makes this huge play. It happened like time and time again. I would say the last 2 years, Kerry Brown has been the Howden to Coy Parrich's Newbin. Parrich got all the shine, all the interceptions, all the glow, all the hype, like Newbin did, program record with the interception and whatnot. And then Howden, who ended up being rock solid starter, all Big Ten type player, got to the NFL. I feel like that's what Kerry Brown has been, just quietly in the background, perfect partner, does his job, does the things. I think this year is Kerry's year to be the face of the safety room, and I think he's going to capitalize on that this year. I'm excited for him. 56 tackles, fourth on the team last year, 3 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. I'm ready for Kerry Brown.
No, I literally, it is his year to be that, exactly what you said. Like, it's his Antoine Winfield season. Like, he's going to be the guy in that room, the leadership in that secondary. And he's probably, I mean, other than like, I'm most excited to watch him play this year and take that step of being like, I'm the leader, I'm the captain. There's, this is my boat. Let's do this.
I'm the captain.
It literally is like it is his Howden, his Tweez season. Like, he's going to be the man this year.
I feel it. I've got Aiden Gooseby. He's definitely going to be in this rotation. The vet presence, the leadership is going to be huge for this team. I just don't know what his role is going to be. I think you could be right. I think he could start at that free safety across from Kerry to kick it off. But again, I think there's going to be a ton of rotation here. We saw him hold his own and succeed as a cornerback in the bowl game last year. You get excited about the creativity that this Gophers team could have. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how and what capacity he gets involved. He played 435 snaps in each of the last 2 seasons, so I imagine he's going to play about that much this season as well. But then the next 4 names are the names where I'm like, I'm juiced. I'm excited. Let's see how it works out. Now I'm putting my guy on this next one. This is my guy. This is the dude that I'm rocking with this year. I think he's going to be a big time player, and that is Garrison Monroe. Garrison Monroe dealt with injury last season, only played 50 snaps. That said, his PFF grades, he had a 78.9 overall, a 91.1 in the run defense, and an 80.3 in the tackle grade. That's all phenomenal on PFF. And for me, I think he is going to be on the field a lot. I think he's been in the practices. I've seen him working at the nickel. I've seen him working at the safety positions, both of them. And he looks bigger. He looks faster. But most importantly, he looks confident. And so he is moving with intention, with speed, and with purpose. And I think that makes a dangerous man. And that's why I look really forward to seeing Garrison Monroe play this year.
Yeah, no, like I said, we haven't seen a lot of them, but this room, the whole room is dudes.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I just don't know how it's going to play out. I feel like all these dudes are going to get opportunities, and it might be matchup dependent. It might be like, okay, this week we know we're playing a run heavy team, so you 3 are going to be the focus of this game while the others might get sprinkled in. Or this week we're playing a 5 spread team. You 3 are going to be the guys that we go to. This week we're playing a running quarterback. So you guys, we got to stack the box more. We need safeties who can fly around. You 3 are going to be I think it could change matchup to matchup to matchup. And that's an awesome versatility to have. It just takes buy-in from the players. If everybody's bought in and everybody's like, look, this might not be my week, but next week I know I'm going to be the dude because that's my matchup. Like, I think as long as everyone's bought in, this could be really dangerous and really good.
And it seems like literally every quote you hear from Danny Collins is that, like, it's like hey, what do you think about this? He's like, honestly, I might feel differently in week 2. Like it's going to change. It seems like the whole defense is just going to be fluid. Whatever works is what we're going to go with, and if it doesn't, we try something new.
Yep. All right, so the next guy I want to talk about, Zach Harden. He got early love in the spring. I don't think he's getting as much recognition this fall from the fan base, at least, and I think he should. He is similar to Garrison Moreau for me. He's going to play all over. He's going to probably play a lot of nickel, but he can rotate around. But the thing is, those first 3 players I said was year 4, year 5, and year 4. This dude's year 2. This is a guy who could be a bright future for this room. So it's definitely someone who I think the Gophers want to get in there and get him some reps. Even if it's maybe less than some of the others, they want to get him starting to feel his way out. I mean, think about Coy Parrish in his freshman year. The first 5 games or so, his snaps were lower, but they were allowing him to get a feel and then go be productive. I could see that same type of usage for Zach Harden, and then maybe towards the end of the year, it ramps up even more. And then the next 2 names are the last 2 that I have in that kind of 6 guys that I could see any of them stepping up. And that's Mekhi Smith and Parker Knudsen. I'm going to break each one of them down. So Mekhi Smith, year 3 guy. Mekhi popped to me this fall. Like in the spring, I was like, oh, I kept hearing Mekhi was a dude at the lower level, but I'm just like, I don't know if I'm seeing it or if he's just like getting used to it. And I mean, he's jumping to the Big Ten, so understandable. But he's catching up to that Big Ten speed. And now he's making plays that earned him that All-American honorable mention, that first-team All-Patriot League. Last year, he had 56 tackles, 4 interceptions, PFF grade of an 89.8, which is elite. And he would have been the best player or the second-best player on the team last year with that grade. And then also he had a coverage grade of an 89. So honestly, I think all of these guys are going to play a lot. Could be dependent on the matchup, like I said. Mekhi Smith is a guy who seems like he's getting more and more. And even today when they practiced, they shared out a clip and Mekhi Smith had an interception today. So I think he's definitely starting to find his ground. And the last one I'm honored to mention for sure is Parker Knudsen, year 4 guy. I like Parker a lot. He's got a knack for the ball, dude. He's just got that it factor about him that it just feels prevalent. Like he's just like, even if you want to count him out, you're like, oh, he's a D2 guy, like D2 to Big Ten. Like what? No, it's not going to work. They just added a body. No, Parker Knudsen can be a dude. And even if he gets limited reps, he is dangerous with limited reps. You're talking about a guy that in this room of stacked talent, like I said, most people would overlook the D2 guy, but in this room, he's a solid athlete. He had great production. And I think, like I said about Simon Seidel, I think he could be a sneaky name to work into the rotation, especially if any injuries come down. If injuries come down, he's a guy that continues to like take more and more on. He was a D2 All-American last year. Walter Camp, he was elite 100 second team player. He had 86 tackles in his career at Southwest Minnesota State, 13 interceptions and 32 pass breakups. Like I said, he has a knack for the ball, and it's hard to keep that off the field.
Yeah, I'm so excited for him. I mean, obviously, I am super biased, but I've never hidden my biases on this show before, and I'm not going to start today. I'm really excited, but I mean, 13 picks, it speaks for himself. The kid's a stud.
Yeah, like I said, I think there's a couple players on this team. And the nice thing is he's a year 4 guy, so he could take a 5th year if he wants it, and I really hope he does. But there's some, because for me, you look at the safety room and all of a sudden you're talking about Guzmi is gone. He's a 5th year guy after this year.
Yep.
Kerry Brown very likely is heading to the NFL if he has even a remotely close season to his last 2 seasons. So that's 2 dudes gone already. Garrison Moreau's a year 4 guy. We'll see what happens. I hope he sticks around. But you're talking about Garrison Moreau, Mekhi Smith, Zach Harden, and Parker Knudsen. All 4 of them come back next year. And you're talking about 3 positions with 4 guys. That means 3 of those dudes are starting next year, and the other one is the core rotational piece that's going to any and all of those positions. This secondary can stay nasty for a couple years if these guys are really bought in and continuing to grow together.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, last things we're going to talk about with the safety room, the youth and the depth, just quick mentions. Tristyn Richardson, year 1 guy. Lamont Hamilton, year 1 guy. Jordan Lampkins, year 1 guy. And Tavian White, year 1 guy. 4 year 1 safeties. I think all of them aren't going to really see the field this year, but they're going to grow and hopefully be able to help in years in the future. And then the only other guy is Zahir Rayner. Unfortunately, it looks like he might be out for a long time. He is injured. He is in a boot, and he's on a scooter at the practice. So I think that spells long-term, which shouts to him. Hopefully he has a quick recovery.
Yeah, at least he's young. At least he's young. He'll be back.
All right. Otherwise, let's talk about these opponents. We got Indiana. We got UCLA. We got about 15 minutes to get through it. So let's do it. Indiana, look, it's not much to say. It's the Natty Champs for a reason. And the Gophers are going on the road now. I know they lost a bunch of dudes to the NFL.
Shock the world.
But they got Kurt Cignetti. And I love PJ Fleck. I love what he does. But Kurt Cignetti, he's backed up every word he said. He's backed up every single thing he's put out there. And I'm not going to be the man to doubt him. So, look, if the Gophers can go out there and shock the world, I'm here for it. Look, if the Gophers go out there and shock the world, you better tap in for that live show, my friends, because my God.
That will probably, if the Gophers beat Indiana, we'll
go platinum.
Brother, that will be the drunkest I'll be on any podcast. That will be the drunkest I will be on any podcast we do.
Hey, if the Gophers beat Indiana, we're pulling fans on the show. We're pulling listeners. We're like, hey, you want to come on?
Yeah. We're just going to post the Riverside.
You get 30 seconds. What do you want to say about this game? I'm giving freebies out there. Like, if that happens, it's going to be lit. So definitely be tapped in, and hopefully it will. But Indiana lost a ton of guys to the NFL, not to the portal, to the NFL, and they just reload.
Yeah.
17 transfers in, ton of 4-stars. Joe Bruner from Wisconsin, 4-star offensive lineman who came over. AJ Harris, cornerback from Penn State, 4-star guy. Turbo Richard, running back from Boston College, 4-star guy. Josh Hoover, who has been the name everybody is talking about. People are already calling him top 4 quarterback in the Big Ten. Huge arm, huge talent, mistake-laden problems here and there at TCU with interceptions and whatnot, but you're talking about Kurt Cignetti. You're talking about what he's been doing with quarterbacks. If anybody's going to coach out the mistakes, it's going to be Kurt Cignetti. So Josh Hoover is probably going to be up there. Last year, he had 3,472 yards and 29 passing touchdowns, but he had 13 interceptions. So if he even tweaks the interceptions down a little bit, he's dangerous. Even the year before, 3,949 yards, 27 touchdowns, but 11 interceptions. So again, if he can rein in the interceptions, that dude's going to be a problem under Kurt Cignetti. And then they have an edge rusher, 4-star coming in, Toby Osunsanmi. Nick Marsh, who is a stud wide receiver from Michigan State, coming in. Like, it's just unfair. How many
they got. I'm looking at their schedule.
They got the proof in the pudding with the Netty. They got the money coming in from Mark Cuban and the boys. And right now it's just like, look, I can't blame them. If this was Minnesota, I'd be buying them all too. I'd be like, bring it on over. Back up the Brinks truck. Let's get it. But they're nasty. And then they still got key returners. Charlie Becker, 34 receptions, 79 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And he didn't start playing really until November. He had 679 yards and 4 touchdowns, and the dude didn't get snaps really until November. Like, they have their best defensive tackle back who had 5 sacks as a D tackle. Like, it's just not fair, dog. It's just not fair.
Finding what I will say is probably the biggest, I don't know how to say it, note of success. I'm just looking at their schedule here, and on ESPN when it shows you the price of tickets, in what world is the Indiana football versus Northwestern ticket damn near $200? They used to pay people to come to that game.
Mm-hmm.
And Kurt Cignetti is the man. He's the man.
He's also got his best linebacker coming back, Elijah Hardy, who had 8 sacks on the team and 98 tackles in the regular season. Over 100 tackles once you add the playoffs in. Like, they got so many dudes coming back to pair with these top-level transfers. It's going to be tough. They're going to be a problem. The Gophers are getting them on the road, so that's what makes this extremely difficult. The last thing I'm going to bring up is their defensive ratings last year. 23rd in pass defense, which is top 25. Great.
Yep.
Tristyn, the rest of these ratings, dog. Run defense, 2nd. Scoring defense, 2nd. Total defense, 4th. Sacks, 6th. Turnovers, 3rd. Like,
single digits. They're just single digits in everything. That was a great team.
Digits. 4 of those 5 were top 5, and the other one was 6th. Like, it's just like,
it's fine. It's fine. What can we do?
What can we do? Their team's probably going to be unreal again. Everybody's talking about Oregon this year. I don't know if you've been getting that vibe too, but
Yes.
everyone's like, oh, is
Yeah.
Oregon the next Big Ten person to win it? Look, don't count out Indiana. I'm telling
They
you
don't
right.
play each other this year. That's huge right there, that they don't have to play each other this year.
I looked at Indiana's schedule. Look, they got Ohio State. Otherwise, I don't know where another loss potentially.
I don't see another loss. I can't find one in here. Like, it's just tough. Yeah, it's tough. They're gonna. I mean, they might go back to back, but it's fine. It's all right.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so we're gonna move it to the other opponent right after Indiana. So we are on the road at Indiana. Hopefully, shock the world. I'm not gonna count on it, but we need to come back home and get a dub, and that's against UCLA. Now, look. Before I started looking into UCLA, Tristyn, I was like, "Look, we're gonna get a dub. We got it. It's done. It's good. We got it. It'll be close, but we'll be good." Then I started looking into it, Tristyn, and I'm like, "This game might be closer than what I thought. This game might be legit." How are you feeling about UCLA?
I'm feeling the same way. I mean, the thing is, I have a hard time with Nico. I have a hard time with Nico because he was so bad. But they finished that season so strong last year, and I think Nico deciding to stay, deciding, I think he kind of had to stay, but deciding to
pay him that much.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't want to have to get that money back. But Bob Chesney is a good coach. But now there's something to be said about the fact that Bob Chesney was also at JMU for 1 year after Curt Cignetti was already there.
That's fair. I didn't even think about that.
So how good of a coach can he be? And also, UCLA in the Big Ten doesn't feel great yet. Like, it feels like, I don't know. It just feels like they don't belong there. Like, California just shouldn't be in the Big Ten. It's different football. But
Chesney would have 2 years, right? Chesney would have 2 years because Curt Cignetti's had 2 years at Indiana.
Oh, 2 years. Yeah, you're right. And they did go to the playoffs. Like, JMU went to the playoffs. He's a good coach. He is a good coach. And Nico deciding to stay, I think they're gonna be better than what we think. It's still hard to say how good, because I think they got a lot of transfers in. The team's gonna look a lot different. But I think Bob Chesney is a good coach.
Yeah, he is a good coach. They have a lot of transfers. Do you have any guesses on how many? I know you didn't look it up. So how many transfers?
Nope.
Any guesses?
Give me, obviously, it's like 42.
On the dot, dog.
No way. I'm going to have to go buy me a lottery ticket.
Hey, that was fire. 10 JMU transfers, 20 Power 4 transfers. So that's 30 of their 42 are either JMU or Power 4. So they're bringing in some talent. 4-star transfer wise, they got a safety, Tao Johnson from Utah, linebacker from Oklahoma, Sammy Omosigo. Sahir West is an edge from JMU who had 45 tackles, 7 sacks, and a forced fumble. He knows that coach pretty well. Leland Smith and Aiden Mizell are 2 wide receivers coming in, one from San Jose State, and the other from Florida. So, I mean, those are good. And then they got Wayne Knight, who is a running back transfer in from JMU, 1,300 rush yards and 9 touchdowns. So he's going to get the rock next year. But then players back. That's the part that got me. That's where I started. I was like, okay, they got these JMU players, and the JMU players are spread out. They got a tackle and 2 interior offensive linemen coming. They've got a defensive lineman, a tight end, a wide receiver, a cornerback, a running back, a linebacker, and an edge. That's how many different JMU positions are coming. I'm guessing. I didn't look too far. I'm guessing a lot of those were some of the starters on that JMU team. So that means you're bringing in a ton of the dudes that just went to that playoff with you. So that's already kind of filling you in there. And then I looked at who's coming back from UCLA that played last year on that team that started to rally. Nico, who we already talked about, pretty decent quarterback. He had some rough spots, but he's pretty talented overall. Cole Martin, starting safety, 12 games started last year, 65 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 3 pass breakups, 1 interception. Then 2 corners are coming back from that UCLA team. One that started 10 games had 36 tackles, 7 pass breakups. The other one had 44 tackles, 3 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and a forced fumble. So that's 2 cornerbacks and a safety. And then we have a cornerback coming from JMU. So that's 3 corners and a safety that are filling in that secondary already. Then you've got a returning linebacker for the UCLA Bruins, 47 tackles, 3 pass breakups, 4.5 tackles for loss, and 4 sacks. So that is, or 1.5 sacks. I'm tripping. Jalen Woods is that linebacker. So you got a JMU linebacker and Jalen Woods coming back. It's like all these JMU guys fit in with the UCLA returners. Plus, UCLA returners have 2 offensive lineman starters coming back. It's just like he's piecing together his JMU players plus UCLA starter returners, and he's already got a team to hopefully be competitive with right away.
Yeah, that's wild. How do you feel if you're like a JMU diehard fan? Like you're just like really good, and then you're like, oh damn, our coach left and took all of our players. But hey, we're still really good, and now it's just another year of damn, our coach left and took all of our players.
It's tough.
JMU is the best farm system for all of college football right now.
It's funny because where I went to undergrad, our chancellor of the university, so basically the head of our university or whatever, he just left like a year and a half ago or a year ago, and he went to JMU, and he was one of the people that helped with bringing in their next new coach and things like that. So it's weird. Like he greeted the new coach off the plane. I'm seeing my old chancellor there. I was like, oh, this is weird as heck. But I think they're not feeling great about seeing their coach and half the team dispersed.
It's just every year. Every time they do good, they lose it all.
Yeah, that's tough. The last thing I'm gonna bring up, I looked up JMU's defensive numbers. I didn't look up UCLA's. I don't give a damn about UCLA's because none of those people are really here anymore. JMU's defensive numbers last year. Tristyn, they were 19th in pass defense, 5th in run defense, 13th in scoring defense, 5th in total defense, and 28th in sacks. They were a top 15, top 20 defense in the nation last year. That's where I added
so good.
I added that production that they brought with their players coming with them, with the decent returners coming back from UCLA. I really think Bob Chesney's got a squad that can be dangerous, and that makes me a little bit nervous as a Gopher fan coming off of a tough Indiana game and knowing you're probably going to need to win this game, and it could be a scrap.
Oh, brother, as a guy, I'm watching all the low-level football. I'm watching all football. And I watched a lot of JMU last year, and they were so good. They just ran into Oregon in the playoffs. Like, there's nothing they could do about it, but they were a very good program.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. That game was feeling like I was chalking it up as a dub most times. Now I'm like, we're going to have to fight. We're going to have to scrap. We're going to have to
but in Minnesota, later in the year, it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold.
I do think, for some reason, I want to say that's the Halloween game, but I could be wrong.
No, I think we're at Indiana on the Halloween game, on Halloween.
You are right. So it's the week after Halloween. So it might be the one Goldie dresses up for. It could be.
It could.
I'm gonna guess the one before is probably going to be the one that Goldie dresses for.
I was before, though, so that's why I'm like.
That's probably what it's going to be. I'm thinking maybe we should hold it off and do it for UCLA, but I'm down for whatever. It should be crisp. It should be. Hopefully that travel makes them a little.
November. These guys are California boys. They don't want to be in Minnesota in November.
I feel you. It's going to be scrap. It's going to be tough. But that's going to wrap us on the show. We made it in under an hour. That's impressive. We got through a ton of different things. But we are talking Golden Gophers. We're talking them every week. We are doing lives after the games. Be sure to hit subscribe over on YouTube. Again, this is Gopher Broke Podcast. Maybe some cool news that we could be doing down the line. Still TBD on it. We'll let you know. But overall, Tristyn doesn't even know yet. But overall, we are excited you're here. Be sure to hit subscribe. We appreciate y'all. If you're a real Gopher fan, tell the other ones. Let them know where we're at. And let us know what things you want to hear during the season, too. We're going to mix it up a little bit, have some fun. But roll the boat, Sky, you my Gophers, as always. And please don't forget to hit subscribe.